For more on this, we're joined tonight by former U.S. diplomat Jim Jatras. Jim, I don't think there's a story on the face of the earth where Eastern media and Western media are reporting two completely different things. Last night, CBS 60 Minutes ran a story and pinned all of the chemical use on the Syrian army and Assad. And you just heard Sergei Lavrov in that story say that there's fake news in the Western media. Sort this out for us as you know it tonight.
Well, actually, Ed, I think you just did, that there is this gulf in what the facts are. And the sad fact is that the Western media do take their cues from Western governments. And even when there's no proof whatsoever, and there hasn't been proof that the Syrian government has used chemical weapons in this conflict, whether we're talking about Ghouta in 2013 or whether we're talking about Khan Shaykhun in April of 2017, or now whatever is going on in Ghouta, it doesn't really matter, it seems, to Western governments. They make the accusation, and the media just repeat it mechanically without demanding any proof or looking at the evidence.
What is the next move you predict the United States will make as far as policy is concerned? Assad is not backing off. The shelling by the militants is not stopping. What's the end game here, and what role does the United States play in all of this? I know that the majority of American people don't want to see troops involved here, but unless there are, how's this going to end? Well,
unfortunately, there are three distinct flashpoints just within Syria. We have what's going on in Ghouta, and it's somewhat encouraging that there was a resolution in the Security Council. It looks like the United States did not push a real hard line there. We agree on a ceasefire, but it's not going to take place because all the terrorist groups that are in Ghouta are exempted. But we still have the problem with the Turks and the Kurds in Afrin and elsewhere in northern Syria. And we also have the major American concentration or presence in Syria, which is the main eastern part, Kurdish-controlled part of Syria, where, remember, about a week or so ago, we launched airstrikes on pro-government forces and killed an unknown number of Russians there. That's the real dangerous flashpoint, it seems to me.
Who is the #1 backer of the rebels right now? Where are they getting their mortars? Where are they getting their equipment? Is it multifaceted?
It's still multifaceted. I don't think the Saudis and the Turks have walked away from their favorite terrorist groups. And I'll be honest with you, Ed, I'm afraid that we're still giving some support to some of these terrorist groups. It's no coincidence we are trying to defend them and are even warning against chemical weapons used by the government. Even anybody who knows, watching this, that the most likely source of chemical weapons use would be precisely from the rebels in order to trigger a response against the Syrian government.
This ceasefire did not hold. What is your prediction that maybe a ceasefire would hold at some level?
I don't think it will. As I say, the terrorist groups that are in Ghouta are exempt from the ceasefire. There was no date for the beginning of the ceasefire in the resolution. I think the real problem is the incoherence of Washington's policy. You have the president saying, on the one hand, we're only there to fight Daesh, but then he says in the same clause that the Russians, the Syrians, and the Iranians are doing very, very bad things. We're not there. We're certainly not there in eastern Syria to oppose Daesh. We're there to block the Iranians and the Russians and to still demand that Assad must go.
Jim Jatras, always great to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.